Okay, we're back. Seconds or less. Audio stream of 128. As far as I could tell, it's 160. Hmm. Okay, 2 seconds. Trying to figure out this error. Uh, Not enough keyframes. I guess that's all right. Okay. Oh, is that still you? You can chat. Hey, chat. Okay. How do I sound? Does it sound bad? I gotta get a better mic. Okay. British fraudster, anti-vaccine activist, disgraced former physician, struck off the medical register for serious professional misconduct due to his involvement in the 1998 Lancet MMR autism study Andrew Jeremy Wakefield. Falsely claimed a link between the measles, mumps, rubella vaccine and autism. Falls in the 1998 Lancet MMR autism study. Which falsely claimed a link. MMR and autism. The publicity surrounding the study caused a sharp decline in vaccination uptake, leading to a number of outbreaks of measles around the world and many deaths therefrom. What was measles? Measles rate before 1998 and after. Measles data and statistics. From 2000 to 2007. Let's see. Two 2017. Incidence of measles decreased 83% from 145 to 25 cases per million people. Okay, so that's an increase. So 98, there were number of deaths from measles jumped from 4.5 to 5.5 million? I mean, 100,000? No, number of lives saved by measles vaccine. Okay. Developed in 1963. Shit, sorry. Is this worldwide or countrywide? Cases were reported annually to CDC. 40 hospitalizations. Cases with encephalitis. 400 to 500 deaths. How bad was measles before the vaccine? This is according to CDC presentation. When was this? (2019). Okay. Progress is in measles elimination. Number of lives saved. number of lives saved goes down because less people are getting infected. Measles was declared eliminated from the United States in 2000 thanks to highly effective vaccination program and other control measures. Measles remains present in many other countries. Okay. Since 2000, the annual number of reported measles cases ranged from 37 people to 667 in 2014. What the fuck? 37 people infected in 2004, 667 in 2014. Last measles death occurred in 2015 in the US. Measles elimination is a global problem. Elimination means absence of continuous measles transmissions for greater than 12 months. Continuous measles transmissions. What is that? It's a continuous measles transmission. What is a continuous transmission of a disease? Okay. Continuous source outbreak? Is that continuous transmission? What's that? Okay. Lancet MMR. Alright, let's just go straight to the paper. Lancet MMR, Andrew Wakefield. Is that gonna search? Okay. Lancet MMR. British Medical Journal. Canadian Medical Association Journal. And the Indian Journal of Psychiatry, okay. All Cite all that the Lancet has retracted the study. All right, let's see. When? 2010. British Medical Journal. 2010. Guilty. Found guilty by the General Medical Council in late January of 2010. Dishonesty and flouting ethics protocols. In a statement published online in thelancet.com, the editors of The Lancet said, following the judgment of the UK General Medical Council's Fitness to Practice panel on January 28, 2010, it has become clear that several elements of the 1998 paper by Wakefield et al. Are incorrect, contrary to the findings of an earlier investigation. In particular, the claims in the original paper that children were consecutively referred and that investigations were approved by the local ethics committee have been trails off. All right, let's go back. Can we go back? Guess it's not how that works. Can we go back here? There we go. Show. There we go. Okay, wait, I want the paper. No, I just want the paper. Okay. Google Scholar. Andrew Wakefield, MMR, Lancet. Ooh, responding to retraction. Let's see what he has to say. By Andrew Wakefield, Peter Harvey, and John Linnell on April 17th, 2004. Almost 6 years have passed since Andrew J. Wakefield, Jeremy, disclosed in a letter published in The Lancet that he was undertaking a pilot study on behalf of the Legal Aid Board, later to become the Legal Services Commission, a study that sought to examine the merits of parental claims of an association between their children's exposure to the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, and subsequent autistic regression and intestinal symptoms. He wrote on May 2nd, 1998, 3 months after the original paper, only one author, AJW, has agreed to help evaluate a small number of these children on behalf of the Legal Aid Board. There was no attempt at any stage to conceal the fact that this viral study was ongoing before the publication of the paper in The Lancet in 1998. Lancet seek further details. All of the first 12 children reported in the Lancet study were referred to the Royal Free Hospital exclusively for the investigation of their intestinal symptoms at a time when none was involved in legal aid litigation. Their pathological findings were interpreted and reported by clinicians who could have no knowledge of any future legal claim. No claim of a causal association with MMR was ever made. So he never actually made a causal. Fuck. God damn it. A causal claim of autism and MMR. Okay, let's find the actual paper. Download full issue? Is that what we want? Download PDF. There we go. It's only 2 pages. Where's the whole... Can we just do that? Is it going to download? Is it going to go? There we go. All right, let's see. Don't want my name on here. Double standards, immunization, MMR vaccine. Okay. Ah, there we go. Okay. MMR vaccination and autism. Sir, hypothesis testing and presentation of the outcome, either positive or negative, is a fundamental part of the scientific process. Accordingly, we have published studies that both do and do not support a role for measles virus in chronic intestinal inflammation. This is called integrity. The latest of these studies was strongly positive and was accepted by the MR. Where are these sources? And was accepted by the MRC review in February 98. By contrast, Brent Taylor and colleagues have ignored the rules. They are inappropriately didactic in their conclusions. The excess risk was seen only in the MMR group. This is a fundamental flaw. Had this been the case, it should have been seen in both of their vaccine groups, those receiving MMR and those receiving any measles-containing vaccine. The excess risk was only seen in the MMR group. This is a fundamental flaw. Wait, is this the actual paper? No, this is not the paper. Actual paper. Custom range, 1998. Let's do 1997 through 1999. Ah, that's the name of the paper. Oh, this is the paper. All right, let's read it. This is the name of the paper. 98 paper by Andrew Wakefield et al. Summary. We investigated a consecutive series of children with chronic enterocolitis and regressive developmental disorder. Okay. Chronic enterocolitis and regressive developmental disorder. Twelve children, age 3 to 10, one girl, 11 boys, were referred to a pediatric gastroenterology unit with a history of normal development followed by loss of acquired skills, including language, together with diarrhea and abdominal pain. So they had diarrhea and loss of skills, including language and pain, all come at the same time. Children underwent gastroenterological, neurological, and developmental assessment and review of developmental records, ileocolonoscopy, and biopsy sampling, magnetic resonance imaging, EEG, electroencephalography, lumbar puncture were done under sedation. Barium follow-through radiography was done where possible. Biochemical, hematological, and immunological profiles were examined. Barium follow-through radiography? What's that? Through radiology. Small intestine X-ray. Onset of behavioral symptoms. Can we get rid of the retracted? Fuck. Erase? Can't erase it. Okay. Onset of behavioral symptoms was associated by the parents with measles, mumps, and rubella vaccination in 8 of the 12 children. With measles, infection in one child and otitis media in another. Otitis media? What the hell is that? Ear infection. Jesus. Otitis media equals ear infection. Jesus. Okay. All 12 children had intestinal abnormalities ranging from lymphoid nodular hyperplasia and something-noid ulceration? Arachnoid? Probably not. History showed patchy chronic inflammation, something in 11 children, and reactive... Can we get a non-redacted version of this? Here we go. Okay. Findings. Good. Onset of behavior... What is this? Let's copy that. Paste. There we go. Alright, that's the paper. Onset of behavioral symptoms associated by the parents with measles MMR vaccine in 8 of the 12 children, with measles infection in one child and ear infection in another. All 12 children had intestinal abnormalities from lymphoid nodular hyperplasia to aphthoid ulceration. Yeah, can't you just Copilot? Can't you just do that? There we go. Huh. Abnormal increase in lymphoid tissue. What is hyperplasia? Hyperplasia. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's what that means. Lymphoid nodular. So nodules of enlarged lymphoid tissue. Particularly intestinal mucosa. It appeared as multiple enlarged lymphoid follicles. Findings. Hello, viewers. We're looking up Andrew Wakefield, who is the guy who he sort of started the whole anti-vaccine thing, I think. We're reading his paper. Okay. I need a microphone, a better one than this piece of shit. Onset of behavioral symptoms was associated by the parents Histology showed patchy chronic inflammation in the colon in 11 children and reactive ileal lymphoid hyperplasia in 7, but no granulomas. Behavioral disorders included autism, disintegrative psychosis, and one possible post-viral vaccinal encephalitis. Post-viral or vaccinal, post-vaccinal. There were no focal neurological abnormalities, and MRI and EEG tests were normal. Abnormal laboratory results were significantly raised urinary methylmalonic acid compared with age-matched controls, low hemoglobin in 4 children, and low serum IgA in 4 children. We identified associated gastrointestinal disease and developmental regression in a group of previously normal children, which was generally associated in time with possible environmental triggers. Previously normal. Okay. We saw several. Oops. We saw several children who, after a period of apparent abnormality, lost acquired skills, including communication. They all had gastrointestinal symptoms, including abdominal pain, diarrhea, bloating, and in some cases, food intolerance. We describe the clinical findings and gastrointestinal features of these children. Do they describe the loss of acquired skills? 12 children consecutively referred to the Department of Pediatric Gastroenterology with a history of pervasive developmental disorder with loss of acquired skills, blah, 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 were investigated. Introduction, findings, summary, intro. Okay. All children were admitted to the ward for 1 week, accompanied by their parents. We took histories, including details of immunizations and exposure to infectious diseases, and assessed the children. In 11 cases, the history was obtained by the senior clinician, JWS. J.A. Walker Smith. J. Walker Smith. Obtained by what? Talking to their parents? Neurological and psychiatric assessments were done by consultant staff with HMS4 criteria. What is HMS4 criteria? Hyperactive malarial splenomegaly. Come back there, maybe. Developmental histories included a review of prospective developmental records from parents, health visitors, and general practitioners. 4 children did not undergo psychiatric assessment in hospital. All had been assessed professionally somewhere, so these assessments were used as the basis for their behavioral diagnosis. After bowel preparation, ileocolonoscopy was performed by SHM or MAT, under sedation with midazolam and pethidine. Paired frozen and formalin-fixed mucosal biopsy samples were taken from the terminal ileum. Paired frozen formal. Ascending, transverse, descending sigmoid colons from the rectum. The procedure was recorded by video or still images and were compared with the images of the previous 7 consecutive pediatric colonoscopies. So they compared all the colonoscopies. 4 normal colonoscopies and 3 on children with ulcerative colitis, in which the physician reported normal appearances in the terminal ileum. Barium follow-through radiography was possible in some cases. Also, under sedation, cerebral magnetic resonance imaging, EEG, Lab investigations. Thyroid function. Serum long-chain fatty acids and cerebrospinal fluid lactate were measured to exclude known causes of childhood neurodegenerative disease. Urinary methylmalonic acid was measured in random urine samples from 8 of the 12 children and 14 age-matched, sex-matched normal controls. Okay, I don't know enough to know what all this shit is. Children were screened. Stool samples were cultured and assessed by microscopy for ova and parasites. Formalin were assessed, blah, blah, blah. Ethical. Okay, results. Clinical details of the children are shown in tables 1 and 2. Of course, it doesn't get any bigger. There we go. Let's close Copilot. Child 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Age 3 all the way up to 10. Male, 1 female. Abnormal laboratory tests. Okay, endoscopic findings. Histological findings. Okay, nothing in here says anything about behavior. Oh, there we go. Behavioral diagnosis, autism. Interval from exposure to first behavioral symptom. One week, 2 weeks, 48 hours. This is all according to parents. So the parents are reporting the interval from exposure to the MMR to the first behavioral symptom is this. 1 week, 24 hours, 2 weeks, 24 hours, 1 week, MMR 2 months previously. Exposure for 1 week. Okay. MMR at 15 months, 16 months. Age of onset of first symptom, 12 months, 4 years, 15 months. Bowel symptoms, 20 months, 18 months, 15 months, 19. Okay, a lot of nothing. Okay. Clinical details of the children are shown in tables 1 and 2. None had neurological abnormalities on clinical examination. MRI scans, EEGs, cerebrospinal fluid, CSF profiles were normal. Fragile X was negative. Prospective developmental records showed satisfactory achievement of early milestones in all children. The only girl was noted to be a slow developer compared with her older sister. She was subsequently found to have coarctation of the aorta. After repair of the aorta at 14 months, she progressed rapidly and learned to talk. The only girl, the age of 14 months, so age through 5. So patient number 8, 2 weeks, behavior 19 months. Okay, 14 months she progressed, and then 5 months after that, speech was lost. In 8 children, the onset of behavioral problems had been linked either by the parents or by the child's physician with measles with MMR vaccine. 5 had an early adverse reaction to immunization. Right, rash, fever, delirium, 3 cases convulsions. Meh. In these 8 children, the average interval from exposure to first behavioral symptom was 63 days? Or 6 or 3 days? 6.3 days? I don't know what the fuck this is. Parents were less clear about the timing of onset of abdominal symptoms because children were not toilet trained at the time, or because behavioral features made children unable to communicate symptoms. One child had received monovalent measles vaccine at 15 months, after which his development slowed. Child 4 at 15 months. Child 4 was 10 years old, and measles vaccine at 15 months, slowing in development, dramatic deterioration of behavior immediately after MMR at 4 to 5 years. Okay. No association was made with the vaccine at this time. He received a dose of measles, mumps, rubella at 4 to 5 years. Oh, but it's this. What the fuck is this? 6-3, 4-5? Doesn't make fucking sense. The day after which his mother described a striking deterioration in his behavior after the MMR vaccine at 4 to 5 years old. That she did link with the immunization. Child 9 received measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine at 16 months. At 18 months, he developed blah, blah, blah. Okay, tables. Okay, that's whatever. Lab tests. All children were anti-endomysial antibody negative. Common enteric pathogens were not identified by culture, blah, blah, blah. Endoscopic findings. The sesum was seen in all cases, and the ileum in all but 2 cases. Endoscopic findings are shown in Table 1. Macroscopic colon. Okay, The Doctor Who Fooled the World by Brian Deere. Brian Deere exposes a conspiracy of fraud and betrayal behind attacks on a mainstay of medicine. From San Francisco to Shanghai. Where was this? Put a fucking date on your website. Award-winning investigative reporter Brian Deere exposes the truth behind the crisis. Okay, but this is an ad. Andrew Wakefield. Conflict of interest. (2008) 1979. Measles vaccine came in 68. 63. MMR came in 1979. Okay. Andrew Wakefield. Oh, I forgot I can just talk. This is the guy who did this study for Lancet, which sort of kicked off the anti-vax movement. Did it kick it off, or did it just make it bigger? But there was conflicts of interest. Let's see. Decrease in uptake of the MMR vaccine. For real? Wakefield work with RFK? Unveiling the collaborative... What the fuck is IPI? Collaborative Nexus, RFK Jr. and Andrew Wakefield's joint public engagements. Okay, good. Let me put you over here. Oh, shit, can I pin this? Damn it. Can't pin it. Alright, it's going to go right here. UK journalist searching for Andrew Wakefield? Yeah, that's that YouTube video, right? What's it called? UK journalist searching for Andrew Wakefield. I think I had just... That's why I'm looking this one up. Well, because I saw the Destiny one. This one, Maurice Hilleman. Journalist hunts down Andrew Wakefield. Top comment, med. Jesus. OH Bomber guy. That's not who I'm looking for. We're looking up Andrew Wakefield. Also, apparently, Wakefield worked with RFK. The genesis of a controversial alliance. RFK Jr. and Andrew Wakefield. The association between RFK and Andrew Wakefield represents a pivotal alliance with modern anti-vaccine movement. They have a mutual distrust of mainstream vaccine science. Wakefield published a fraudulent 1999 study published in The Lancet, which has been retracted. He was barred from practicing medicine in the UK due to professional misconduct. RFK has consistently defended Wakefield even after being disbarred from practicing medicine, or barred. Among the most unjustly vilified figures of modern history is how RFK describes that guy. Public rallies and anti-vaccination events. RFK Jr. and Andrew Wakefield have been central figures at numerous public gatherings aimed at challenging vaccine mandates and promoting vaccine skepticism. Camera reports from various media outlets have captured their activities. These rallies are actively participated in various anti-vaccine conferences. Health Freedom Summit. Wakefield, during this summit, asserted that the coronavirus was no worse than seasonal influenza. Death rate of COVID versus seasonal influenza. Mortality rates. More contagious, blah, blah, blah. Flu deaths per year. 2018-2019 flu, 34,000 deaths. 2019 to 2020, 22,000 deaths from flu. 2020, COVID, 385,000. So that's an increase of 385,666 divided by 22,000. 17. No, how the fuck? Oh, 17 times. So 1,700%. 17 times. Yeah. More deadly is COVID than flu. Do they still work together? All right, I think we're gonna. You know what? I don't know. Is he alive? Andrew Wake. I think so. Yeah, he's still alive. Born in 56. He is not dead. Andrew Wakefield interview. In his own words, full interview, that is from when? 2011. Let's see if we have anything more recent. Date 2011 through, is that how this works? 25? Andrew Wakefield, The Real Story. Is that him? That's him. Stand by.
To about you. I've had you under investigation, whether you know it or not, because I want to know that your story is as ironclad as the one that we did on Tom.
That's him.
And so now
I think.
I want to get to the bottom of what happened. But to start out with, how the hell did you find yourself in the I mean, you were a gastroenterologist in, at the Royal Free Hospital in UK. You were the what lead researcher? What was the title you had?
Yeah, what was I? An academic.
Del Bigtree. Del Bigtree, I think, is a anti-vaccine. He's the CEO of an anti-vaccination group. So Del Bigtree interviewed him last year, and that's what this is. So I don't know if I would trust that. The High Wire. I can. Informed Consent Action Network. Informed Consent Health. One lawsuits against HHS, CDC, NIH, and the FDA. Okay, well. All right, whatever. Anyway, that's this guy. Yeah, Andrew Wakefield, the father of the modern anti-vax movement. Andrew Wakefield is working for a lawyer, a law firm, suing Wakefield conducted deliberate fraud by changing that must be the keyframe frequency issue. I gotta figure that out. Okay. The new findings. Okay. Conducted deliberate fraud by changing and falsifying medical information of the 12 subjects so that a link between autism and the vaccine would appear real. In 2004, many of Wakefield's co-researchers withdrew their names as authors in the 1998 study, discovered that Wakefield had been paid by a law firm that was looking to sue the vaccine manufacturer. There it is. Paste. Let's source that. Paste. Okay. He was stripped of his medical license in May of 2012 by the British Medical General Council. Clear evidence of falsification of data should now close the door. Wakefield's original study set off a wave of research to confirm the link between autism and the MMR vaccine, which contained mercury-containing preservative thimerosal. FDA recommended removal of thimerosal from vaccines in '99 as a precautionary measure, although studies by the administration were unable to find a link between vaccines and autism symptoms. In the years since, a number of other studies have been published debunking the link between a study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine. Oh, wait. A 2002 study in New England Journal of Medicine followed more than 500,000 Danish children, instead of just 12, for 7 years, found no association between autism and the vaccine. Same thing, there's another study in Denmark. Yeah. Okay, so what law firm? Vaccine manufacturer? MMR vaccine manufacturer. Sued by Andrew Wakefield. Wakefield was paid more than £400,000 by lawyers trying to prove that the vaccine was unsafe. The payments were part of a £3.4 million distributed from the legal aid fund to doctors and scientists who had been recruited to support a now failed lawsuit against vaccine manufacturers. Clear conflict of interest. According to the figures released under the Freedom of Information Act, Wakefield has paid £400,000 in fees, plus $4,000 in expenses. He had been working for the lawyers for 2 years before he made that report. Wakefield worked for the lawyers who were suing the vaccine manufacturer for 2 years before publishing the report. He received how much money? He was paid more than £400,000. The legal aid fund distributed £3.4 million to other doctors and scientists as well. Vape counter. Can you hear it? Okay, that'd be fun. Okay. Immunization rates to slump from... Oof. because of this study, rates went down from 92%. My headset keeps dying, so the microphone goes away. From 92% to 78.9%. Ah, so not only was he working for the lawyers who were suing the vaccine company, the parents, or the children, I guess, the children in the study were claimants in the case. They had everything to gain from creating a fraudulent paper. Yeah, okay. Yeah, personal knowledge and whatever else. Okay, I think I'm tapped out for the night.